e-commerce, Amazon, and beyond. And I am happy to be co-hosting with Andrew Morgans of Marknology. Say hi, Andrew.
What up, everybody? What's up?
He's very festive. I thought I was being festive by just wearing a red shirt, but Ryan, say hi. We got Ryan Cramer here.
Hello, everyone.
He's got on his Santa hat. Ryan's got on some holiday bulbs, and we've got more people joining, which is super awesome. So and now we're live, we're streaming everywhere you are. So I'm Liz Downing. I'm the marketing manager of seller partnerships and events at Teikametrics, which is a software platform designed to help you optimize your Amazon, Walmart, and now eBay advertising. Andrew, why don't you just say a little bit about Marknology?
Hello, everyone. I'm Andrew, the founder of Marknology. We're a full service Amazon agency. We've worked with hundreds of brands in this space. So taking brands to the next level on Amazon and beyond, from content to SEO to advertising, we do it all. So we're gonna have a lot of fun. It's really about our panelists today. And I think getting the most out of them, we'll be bringing it all day.
Absolutely. Well, not quite all day, but at least for the next 2 hours.
2 hours is a while.
It is a while. It is a while, especially during this time. I know I've got back-to-backs all day, but this is my favorite part of my day. Does it make sense to introduce everybody and have them tell a little bit about the organization, or do we want to jump right into content?
I think the intros are a good idea. Let's do some intros.
Okay, David, since you spoke first, you're up first. David is one of the founders of the Ecom Cooperative, and I'm making him talk about himself. So David, go.
Yeah, Amazon experts. We help with creating listings. On to the next.
Frank Acosta, you're up.
Frank Acosta, CEO of Creative%. We do branding and Amazon videos. The best Amazon videos.
They are the best Amazon videos. Let's go with somebody who's actually got their camera enabled. Anna Rose.
Hi, I'm Anna Rose. I'm a seller success manager at Yardline, and we provide capital to e-commerce entrepreneurs. So majority of our clients are on Shopify and Amazon. And then our seller success team works in strategy. So that's kind of where I work.
Awesome. That's great. Ryan Cramer.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ryan Cramer, Partnership Marketing Manager over at PingPong Payments. We'll get into what PingPong does, but I am a Swiss Army knife for us. I do a little bit of everything: webinars, podcasting, talking with clients, talking with brand people. A lot of people on this panel I've talked to, and helping people save time, money, and effort. It's nice to see everyone.
Awesome. Thanks for being here. Nir, how about you?
Hi, my name is Raveh. I'm the CEO of Wize. We are been on Amazon for the last something like 14 years, maybe 15 years. We have A to Z service, helping companies to grow. We also have the appeal, but I will present it in my presentation. And I am a good friend of basically almost everyone here. But Yoni didn't call me for the last 2 weeks, and I'm really angry.
You know what? You can't win them all.
No, but you owe me a beer.
Done.
Yoni Kozminski, over to you.
How you doing, Liz?
Hey, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too. I'm the founder of MultiplyMii and Escala, and what we do is effectively help businesses scale, building systems for them, for e-commerce businesses, and also we find talent located in the Philippines.
Awesome. And how's your team doing there with all the devastation that's been going on with the weather?
Yeah, about 20. We're at about 220 people, and so maybe 10% of the team were impacted. It's no power, no access to cash. It's been pretty tough, but we've done all that we can. We're actually, you know what? I'm going to take this second, Liz, if I can, to give a shout out. We're working with buy box experts and a number of other companies that have pretty large footprints over in the Philippines. We are trying to get fresh drinking water and a whole lot of relief aid, including charging stations. So I'm going to drop in the link to the GoFundMe that we've set up. We've already raised about $16,000, I believe, and our goal is really to try and ferry as much of this across. So anyone who can help would be amazing.
That's awesome. Please do put that out to people. And it's amazing that you're doing that. Last, but absolutely not least, Mina Elias, why don't you tell everybody about you and what you do?
What's up, guys? Mina Elias, Trivium Group, Amazon advertising agency. I also sell supplements. Hard work. If you are an athlete, get my electrolytes and Cogneuro. If you're anyone that loves coffee but hates the side effects, and that's it.
I think Mina sells himself a little short. He's also PPC genius. So
we'll talk about that during the presentation. I love PPC. I love helping people out. So I'll be sharing some really good stuff that I use for our business to give you like super clarity into what's going on very easily, because Andrew is probably the best guy to talk about this, because when you had 1 or 2 accounts, it's easy. When you have 10, 20, 30, you're like so busy, it's impossible to do a deep dive on every single one. Maybe Andrew does, he works 24/7, but this is like gonna help you guys like very quickly get a control of what's going on.
That's awesome. So we'll get into the agenda in just a moment. I wanted to recap for those of you who are just joining. This is Sellermania 3. Sellermania is an event that we put on, and by we, I'm talking about the Ecom Cooperative, which Teikametrics is a part of, and most, or if not all of these people are a part of. So Sellermania is designed to give you free information that you can put into action right now for your business, as well as to offer giveaways that will either help you advance your business or surprise and delight you. So I'm into Teikametrics decided to do the surprise and delight. So we can definitely get into what the prizes are later. We'll be doing the giveaways and all that jazz. Just a little bit about the Ecom Cooperative, though. It is completely free for sellers and brand owners to join. There is no cost to the actual seller or brand. And it's a collection of service providers and professionals that are here to help e-commerce professionals succeed on Amazon and various other platforms, although Amazon seems to be the stickiest wicket there is. So I know that Teikametrics has loved being part of the Ecom Cooperative. I personally have loved participating in the Ecom Cooperative. I think that all of the people here that are part of the organization are really, really happy to be there, and people that are friends of it have definitely benefited from the sellers dinners that we put on, and all that other stuff. And the guys that want to stay in the non-camera mode and said, quit introducing us, Liz, Yoni Mazur, David Dayon, Frank Acosta, Lenny Ash, and Jason Hannon are the founders of the Ecom Cooperative. They started eating dinner together in New York and said, hey, why don't we invite some sellers to this? And thus one of the best organizations in the whole industry was born. So that all aside, I think that we'll start with content and then we'll do giveaways. And Nir, I think you're going to get up first. As Nir told you, he's the CEO at Wize, and his topic is brands on Amazon, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So cue the iconic music. But Nir, why don't you go ahead and just dive in, and I'll make it so everybody can just see you and your screen. Yeah,
it's good to go. Go ahead, Nir. You got to unmute though.
Yeah, how I'm doing it.
There we go.
So now I'm unmuted. Can you see my screen? Or
yes, looks great. Yeah. We can see your we can see
I'll do it as fast as possible. And I already introduced myself and my company. So the only thing I want to speak about is why I'm speaking about. This is one of the first time that I'm speaking about appeals, because usually it's not that sexy topic to speak about, but David has insisted that I will do some of the things that, speak about the thing that people do not like to hear about, but it's important. And I told him about a company, or it wasn't a company, it was a lady, amazing lady that most probably is now with us, hearing, and her account was hacked. So he said, okay, speak about that. So the topic is the good, the bad, and the ugly. And with that, I will explain a bit about that. Just two more things that I want to speak about. So most of the people in here went to my live events, and I appreciate the fact that we are all together. Liz said that, but now she's the host. So I will say as an attendee, it's an amazing organization, the Ecom Cooperative. We are helping each other. We have constant conversation, and if somebody doesn't know what to do, we just ask each other. So it's something really unique. So worth to others to be, or to ask even. So let me jump quickly to the next one. So what will happen if one day somebody will hack your seller account? It's basically, what will you do if you will be in a position that you're trying to log in and nothing is happening? The email account is not there. The two-step verification will not work. So what will you do? And I'm not trying to, it's not about fear, it's about how to protect yourself. So the first thing that I would say just for now, and it's not a fix, it's not anything related to the really hack, but these are the things that you will do if you prepare yourself today, and basically every, let's say, month, it will help you. So first, clean your computer. This is something we constantly forget. We're running and forgetting to do that thing. Change your Amazon password. You don't need to change them every day or every week or even every month, but please try to do it. And when you are changing it, do it for all the user. I'll take a pause to explain about the thing that happened last week or 2 weeks ago with the company that approached me. I did not know them. I knew them before because they prepared the next point. They prepared all the information up front. They are a company that works with Danny McMillan, and he introduced me, and we prepared everything. However, what we didn't know that somebody will hack the account, not just hijack their listing, the actual account. And it was amazing because basically what we had is during 24 hours, they were hacked something like 7 times. And eventually we figure out how to fix it. But before, and I will explain a bit what we've done today or just now, without telling all the scary things. But if your account was hacked, don't panic. This is the first thing that you need to do. Don't try to do things. Don't send Amazon like 10 times emails or try to change the password or the email or whatever. If you see that it is hacked, check your inbox. This would be the first thing to do. In your inbox, when you're changing something like that on even your bank account or something like that, Amazon will send you an email. In this email, you will have direct number to call Amazon in case something like that happens. So call them. We were, after the 7th time we were speaking with them, we were like best friends. We're now, no, we're not Facebook friends, but they will help you. They know how to do it. Work according to what they are saying and everything will be okay. But I'm trying to tell you that if you will prepare all your information up front, then whenever Amazon will fix the problem, you will be able in 10 minutes
Near.
Okay, let's give him another moment. Maybe he lost connection, but if he did, Andrew, you can just go ahead and announce people about the link and what to do to register.
Yeah, let me speak to a little bit to this account information with Nir. I'll just jump in here. I think he's talking about an amazing subject that we shouldn't overlook. And so as he's joining us back, you know, the best way to combat getting your account back if it's been hacked, or honestly anything to do with engaging with Amazon, is just to have your paperwork and your information really organized and put together in a way that if anything does happen, you're able to act quickly, whether it's about your product information, whether it's about your accounts and passwords, whether it's about what's your merchant ID, your merchant token. Being able to quickly just communicate to Amazon who you are, that you're the legitimate owner, is super huge. And I think in these times, it's way easier, like as an agency owner, to be calm. And having seen this a bunch of different times, maybe not the same problem, but seeing suspensions and things like that, we just know that if we do the right things, we'll get it back slow and steady as she goes. Versus the seller is stressed because they're losing sales every day. And worried that they won't get it back. And to them, I just say, be patient. The best preparation can't prepare you for getting hit in the face. So you do your best, be patient, talk to Amazon, fall in line, do whatever they're asking you to do. And 99 times out of 100, you're going to get that resolved. So super great topic there. We were just talking about the link that we threw in the chat for everybody else while we're waiting on Nir to come back. We have a link in the chat to sign up for free giveaways. I think we're bringing the heat today with some of these giveaways and really brought some stuff to the table. So I won't speak to all of those, but you'll definitely want to sign up. We never have enough people getting involved on the free giveaway, so somebody's winning all the time. So get into the chat and sign up. I know I have personally a couple brand owners that are tuning in today, so jump in there, get some free services. You have nothing to lose. Liz, who else do we have on the list that's next while we're waiting on Nir to work with his connection problems?
Nir actually says he's joining again in 1 minute. So I think we can kind of talk about what kind of swag we're bringing to the table. I know that I'm giving away $150 worth of free Teikametrics swag, which sounds like, ew, except for we've got really, really good stuff. Like everybody, we've got North Face jackets and Yeti mugs and like all kinds of great stuff and really super, super soft t-shirts.
Okay.
So Frank is giving away a free video for those of you who were at, I think it was Sellermania 2 that were like, where are the videos by Frank? You get one this time if you win.
Can I sign up for my brands personally?
I don't think we're eligible.
Okay. I didn't know the rules.
Yeah, I don't think we're eligible as panelists and hosts, but AMZ Experts is giving away a free storefront. That's actually really huge, you guys, because it's hard to make one of those and time consuming. So I think, yep, Nir's back. So Nir, if you want to try this again. Wait, let's try it again.
Yes, I will. So sorry, in here, I'm based in Israel. In here, we have now something that's called a storm, which means in all other parts of the world, just rain. So, so it was some kind of a
blackout. You had a blackout. Just simple rain in Israel makes a blackout. Well, here everybody is just another rainy day. So go ahead, share your screen. Let's keep moving.
Embarrassing as it is. Sorry. So can you see my screen? I cannot see it.
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Yes.
So just give me just a second. So sorry. I cannot see it. Anyway, let's see what I can do.
Okay, you can stop sharing and try to share again. Just make sure you choose the right screen.
Okay. So I don't know what I'm sharing in here.
Here, try to share it again. And when you choose the right screen, make sure you see the file, the presentation.
Okay. So now is it shared?
No, now we just see a blank screen. Before we saw the actual presentation. Now I see a blank screen. So let's try one more time.
One last time. Sorry for that. Never trust me. Now it's okay?
No. Oh, yeah, it's okay. Great.
Yeah. Sorry. So I do apologize for that. So let's jump to the nice part of the presentation, because we do need that now at this point. So there are also other good things on Amazon that were added on the last, I think, year. So quickly, we all share the information, and Ryan, basically all of us, we have live or post or whatever, and we are always so happy when a new feature is adding to Amazon. And the reason for that, and this is a good time to explain, is because it means blue ocean for us, and it means that if we will be there before the others, we will get all the benefits before all others will join. So quick things that this is kind of historical thing, Amazon Post, but I know that not too many are using it. By the way, whenever I'm speaking, feel free everybody to jump in. I like when it is discussion. So Amazon is trying to close the gap and have like their social platform. It's free. And you can share or you can use post as many times during the day as you want, and it's a good thing, and I will explain the next slide. But the good thing, you can use lifestyle images, you can show how the product works, and it takes a bit longer to understand what is allowed on the post and what is not allowed, but it worth the efforts. And when, I don't know if others are using it, I guess everybody almost in here, when it works, it actually works, and you can see like a huge jump, and you can tag new products or deals, and the best thing that I would say, you can tag your competitors, and I don't know how many are using it in here in this panel. Who is tagging competitors? Andrew, I knew you.
What was the question? Tagging or attacking?
No, you can tag your competitors. You know what happened when you tag your competitors, Yoni?
How do you tag them? How do you mean?
You just use their ASIN in the post, and it means that your post will be shown on their listing. This is what it means. So simple.
Wow.
So
it has
easy.
to be both products though, right? So in the picture, it has to be my product and their product.
No, you can use
it can just be your product. Wow.
Yeah,
It's kind of a loophole.
Yeah, but then it's kind of it's a known secret, but it is very powerful, and it's free. And so I would say use it as soon as possible.
It's very similar
And
to
then,
if I could jump in just right there, I think it's a fun topic, and not enough people are using Amazon Post. We're doing a lot of experimentation with that, and I think it's an amazing way when people are trying to think about complaining about PPC costs and they're not even engaging in Amazon Post, and it's free product targeting ads basically. So great opportunity there. I know you just dropped that as a little hint, but we're getting tons and tons of impressions and clicks for free for the brands that we're using with Amazon Post.
And I can speak about that, the previous slides, like for 20 minutes, because posts on Amazon do not disappear. Posts on Amazon, you can use like 5-10 per day for a product, and it's so easy, and it's not always you need to have like tons of content. You can just have like an amazing image. Maybe one day we'll do something about that. Andrew, what do you say?
No, I think we're still experimenting. With some posts it seems to do quite a bit better. We're not doing the 5 or 10 posts a day. We're just trying to get out regular content, kind of like an Instagram feed, repurposing their content from Instagram or social media and bringing it to posts, but still, like you said, blue ocean, and excited just to see how it continues to develop. Right now it's free traffic. Why wouldn't you take advantage?
I agree. And the good thing about it, if you have, I think something after three times somebody is watching your post, you can approach them with the customer engagement. And what it means in very, very simple words, you can email them through the Amazon system. And this is the powerful tool that nobody is speaking about. So post, some of the people knows, but this is like Amazon is allowing you relationship, but also the ability to launch new products for those who like your brand. And this is amazing stuff. And it's for free. It's 100% free. And if you will learn, not you, of course, if somebody will learn how to use it, this is very, very powerful. To be completely honest, it's still not working as it can work, but it is like still blue ocean. The brand referral bonus. You can read everything that is written in here, but the good thing is Amazon is giving you 10% back. And this is what you need to remember. It's as easy as creating, there is on the brand, now it's just for brand, also I think before, but you can create the attributes, and then in the attributes, you're just creating it, and then you can use it for the brand referral bonus. And if you're sending outside traffic, Amazon is giving you 10% back, which usually Amazon do not do. So it's a good thing.
Near, awesome
Yeah.
feature as well. Like you said, blue ocean. Just because of our technical difficulties, I think we have time for one more slide. And if we have one more thing that we can tell the audience today,
Yeah.
Based on your
So
deck, would you mind?
I'll do two, but really quickly. Okay. So the first one is the customer review. Basically, do not play with Amazon. Use the Vine program. You can ask review, find it on the brand tab, or you can request review change if you're getting negative review. And the last one, which basically can learn from the web, but if we don't have time, go and search for Sharon Evan video. She's explaining about this feature amazingly. It's the Product Opportunity Explorer. Basically, Amazon is giving you all the information that exists that you need, from search volume, top search, click rates, whatever is written in here, because I need to do it as fast as possible. So this is how it looks, and basically try it by yourself. And this is me saying thank you.
Nir, thank you so much. This is amazing. This is amazing information. I know we sped through. We're just trying to keep everybody on tracks. This is fantastic, and everyone that's tuning in, you know, I would just echo that whenever Amazon's coming out with new features, new products, new software, it's super important to lean into those things and just try to learn everything you can about them, because like he was saying before, it's a blue ocean and a chance for opportunity and a chance for you to get ahead of some other sellers. So thank you very much, Nir, and we'll be back to you as a panelist later on for some of your input. Liz, would you like to introduce our next panelist?
I think before that, let's give something away for free.
Okay.
I mean, the people came for the information, but they came for free stuff. So I think first
we gotta check with Lenny if he's ready. Let's give it a little test. Lenny, are you ready for a spin? If you are, let's go. If not, huh?
I was told the wheel is ready. The wheel.
What are we giving away? What are we giving away?
We're giving away, let's just do mine first, $150 of free Teikametrics swag.
All right.
Let's go.
Screen Lambo. All right.
What are we giving?
Maurice Daba is the winner. We're giving a Teikametrics swag.
$150. So I've got a special code for you, Maurice. So if somebody can give me Maurice's email address, I'll email that out to him.
We'll do. We'll send it over.
Awesome. So drum roll. I think next up, Andrew, do you want to introduce or do you want me to do it?
No, I got it. This is a friend of mine, and I was just on episode 200 yesterday of Ryan's podcast. Was super excited to be on there. Yeah, I think he had, did you have 20, 30, 40 guests? I'm not sure. He had a host of guests
like
over several hours. Yeah, like 200, I think. So No, I meant yesterday. I think you had a lot of us on just yesterday.
No, it felt like 200.
Okay. I was like, I know it's episode 200. I wasn't sure. But super excited to have you on today with PingPong payments. The topic we're talking about is how inflation is impacting your bottom line. Ryan, what do you got to share with the group today?
Yeah, so I think this is just pretty self-explanatory, but we're going to break it down. So just I'll share my screen too. Again, and if people have questions, obviously put them in the chat and happy to talk with them offline too. But it looks like it's thinking right now. But in terms of what PingPong payments does, oops, let me make sure everyone got it. Okay, I think you got it. What PingPong payments does, if you haven't heard of us, no, we're not a table tennis company. The name itself is funny, but if you're an international seller or if you're just someone starting out and you're listening to this the first time, what are the things that are impacting my business? And a lot of people, it's time, money, or effort. What can I invest into my business to make it more profitable, successful, and stand out from the crowd? A lot of people hear about, especially in the United States, about inflation, what my money doesn't get me as much anymore as what it might have maybe a year or two ago, or a couple of years ago, or even as recently as a few months ago. What that means for you as a business owner is you have to find, utilize resources, whether it be services or just opportunities in order to, make up that difference. And then obviously inflation, the simple definition is your dollar or your currency of whatever you might be listening from around the world. It doesn't go as far as it used to. And a lot of people are trying to fight that with price increases. They're trying to cut costs on either supplier management or just any sort of ways where they can cut costs and put that to your bottom line. I think even reports as recently as a few weeks ago saying that Amazon takes anywhere from roughly 15%, but if you add on PPC, FBA cost, fees, things like that, you're talking about 30+% of fees when it comes to impacting your bottom line. So as a seller, when I'm looking at monies tied up in inventory, but also tied up in fees, where can I make my dollar go farther? So that's what we're going to be talking about today, just kind of at high level. Obviously, what PingPong Payments does, we are a global payment solution provider, cross-border payments provider, helping people sending and receiving funds on Amazon, but also to like suppliers, manufacturers, VAs, employees worldwide. So what that looks and why that means something for you. Just background on what we do. Just quickly, we've processed more than, it's probably $100 billion now in cross-border payments to date, helping 150 or more than a million sellers worldwide, and that's going to continue to grow. And that can be anywhere from China to United States to Europe to, depending on where you are on the world, we're helping facilitate and help sellers all over the world. So that's just us at a high level point. But why this matters to us is obviously our network of great people. This is just a quick snapshot of people we work with on a day-to-day basis, which it could be like 10 pages long, of course. But why this matters to you as a seller, saving money and helping your dollar go farther can help you on multiple different levels of your seller stage, right? So that could be if you're looking to exit your brand, super topical right now. If I'm a seller and I'm looking to cash in my business, I want to exit my brand. Why is this important to you? Well, clean books matter. And I think everyone who's selling right now on Amazon or have exited their business will tell you that it's a pain in the ass. Excuse my language. It's a pain in the ass to have clean books. And it's also to get all the numbers in line so that when people are presenting their LOIs or they're signing LOIs and they're going through due diligence and things like that, making sure that they know where dollars and your business happenings are happening. So it's anywhere from if my funds are tied up in inventory or if I'm paying too much in supplier management, those are going to be something that lots of different aggregators or roll-ups or accelerators look at in terms of seeing if they can help you grow your business. So this is something that PingPong can help you, optimization in terms of the fee structures that you might be saving when paying out suppliers or receiving from Amazon payouts as well. Helping in the payment service, obviously, where if you're looking to grow internationally and receive funds internationally, you don't want to pay another set of fees. Believe it or not, Amazon actually doesn't list this as a line item in terms of currency conversion. For example, if I'm a UK seller and I'm selling in the United States, clearly you're selling and receiving US dollars because that's what the the customer is purchasing in. So at the end of the day, when you're receiving those funds, your bank account is in the UK. Amazon's going to do that conveniently for you, but you're still going to pay fees at the end of the day. It's a line item that doesn't exist. And if you might think that you're getting paid out one thing in terms of the US dollar and you're getting converted to your British bank account, you're going to see that there's a discrepancy, and that's just due to the nature of currency conversions. And that's another thing of the dollar might not be as strong as the British pound or the euro or the Japanese yen or wherever you're located and you're listening to this today. Valuations and currencies fluctuate all the time, and it might not be as strong as you think it is. So you actually might just be losing funds on your 2-week daily transactions and receiving funds, and you have no idea. This is something that we're helping people save. Instead of converting every 2 weeks, you might just want to hold on to that currency until it bounces back, maybe in 6 months or a year. Having the flexibility to have the control over your money, super important. Time savings, again, I talked about saving time, money, and effort. Time savings capacity. I think this is what everyone can relate to in terms of putting more money back to your bottom line is time. Time is something we don't have a lot of, and we have to maximize it as much as possible. So when you're paying your payments to your suppliers and manufacturers, if you're just starting this, you're paying out your supplier in China, it's important to know that if you're per payment, if you're putting information online, for example, it takes 7 minutes to do a payment. If you're doing at scale 200 payments over the course of 12 months, that could be equating to, again, this is a scale. So you can actually save anywhere from a month's worth of time, depending on how big or small you are. That's time that you can put back in building your business and something that you can apply to, something that's going to actually grow your business instead of wasting time. And then obviously, yeah, go ahead.
I want to jump in there on a question there, just because I was reading the slide and just a little confused. Maybe it's just right in front of my face. But you mean 7 minutes, like to go process a transaction or an invoice or something like that? And so you guys are saving time how? In what way? Is it automated? Is it can you explain that?
Yeah. So the time saving aspect. So when people make their international transfers, it's either going to a bank or a localized entity, whether it's driving there in person, discussing it, or even if you're doing it online, you have that capability. It's you as a business owner typically, or it's your accountant or it's your CFO, however big of a business you are, it's putting in those numbers and making sure you're comparing, hey, this is the right routing number. This is the right resource. This is who I'm actually supposed to pay out. You're checking all those numbers. Every time you're actually paying out an entity, whether it be, again, your supplier, it could be an employee, it can be a VA, it could be any sort where money is leaving my bank account externally. It can be that, manufacturer, it could be $100,000 payment to my supplier. That money, you're going to be, as a business owner, you want to make sure you're double checking and saying, hey, I don't want to mess up any numbers, especially at transactions at that scale. So when we say 7 minutes, it's per transaction of money coming or leaving your account. So this can be anywhere from, again, accountants, paying your VAs, paying employees internationally. So great question, Andrew. Does that answer that question?
No, that's perfect. And it's something just for some color here. This is a new challenge for me as a growing agency where, we're both based mainly in the US for the longest time and had, I think, like one payment overseas system, our outsourced employees. But as we have increased and scaled and started using more outsourced labor, and it's really created a different issue I never had before, which was, bank fees and really having to think about how I'm moving money and paying internationally. Wasn't a problem. I'm in year 7 of my business. Wasn't a problem for years. It's now become one. And I wouldn't even say a problem, just something new for me to solve as a solution. So this is super helpful. And I think whether maybe you're not dealing with that right now, you might be very soon, whether you're expanding internationally. I know one of my brand owners that's on the webinar or listening in is we're expanding internationally right now. So it's a very relevant topic, Ryan. So thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, no problem. And I just wanted to kind of like break it down to, you can see, I don't have to read it for people. And this is something that it's just simple math. I jokingly say it's 7th grade math that you can use to apply to your business, but it's at scale, right? Of, hey, if I wire fees, if I'm doing 200 transactions in a given time, again, that can be that's just a number you can plug in if you're doing 50 or if you're doing 300 transactions at scale. $35 per wire fee doesn't seem like a lot per time, but if you're doing that over a course of a year, you can actually look at that, just that example. Hey, that's $84,000 of just savings. That's a full-time employee. That's a highly paid employee that you can be hiring just in saving fees instead of paying wire fees. So stuff like that is going to be applicable. I won't try to go down to one specific example, but as a business owner, you need to know that there's fees that add up all across the board. Amazon, yes, of course, they make you pay those storage fees, those referral fees, FBA fees, things like that. That is cost of doing business. But when it comes to cost of doing business, and again, I know our friends over at Getita, you're recouping money that is yours. And this is the ability to kind of protect yourself as a business entity of, hey, at scale, that money can be going towards my bottom line. And when you do exit, and I'll just share that savings, for example, for Andrew's business that's growing internationally, and they do $1 million in Canada for next year. They save 1%. That's over the course of 12 months instead of fees, they're going to be getting $120,000 a year. And as we all know, you're not exiting your brand at 3x multiple. You're talking about 4 to 8. But even if it was that worst case scenario, they exited at 3x multiple, you just put $360,000 here back to your bottom line. So again, when we're talking about inflation, making your money work for you guys, you have the ability to work with partners who are going to save you those fees. And again, that's just something of economics 101 of don't let your dollar not work for you. You don't work for your dollar, let that dollar work for you. So that's an example. Again, this is high level. How you're paying suppliers, I think is the biggest thing. What we encounter with our customers on a day-to-day basis. People are looking at different capabilities, right? Of not just paying in China. They're talking about paying their suppliers and looking at India, for example, or Mexico. A lot of people want to have that backup plan of they don't want to wait for their goods to just sit in a warehouse. Debtor days are growing longer than ever. 90 days we're talking about for an invoice to be received by our customers before they, obviously we're working with PingPong, and then paying that out, it's 90 days. And once, depending on your terms for each brand, that's 90 days where it's technically, if you get an invoice for $100,000, that's money not on your books, but it's not taken out of your account until you pay that off, right? So technically, if you're getting an invoice for that large sum, it's all these different numbers that as an accountant or as a CFO or as a one person shop, you need to know where your money's coming and going. And when it's consolidated in the likes of different dashboards, it's really hard to know where your money's actually going. So just being able to scale at costs, scale. And then again, I have case studies of like companies we work with. If you're a brand, for example, friends at Thrasio or Perch, for example, they're doing this at scale when they're working with hundreds of brands, trying to consolidate and save money. It's hitting small and medium-sized businesses. This is happening to the likes of billion-dollar entities like Perch. They're utilizing resources to help save costs at scale. So if you're doing, and again, our friends over at Buyboxer as well. So you can be a top 100 Amazon seller. You can be a person who just started this year. This is going to help you scale and save and make your dollar go further across the board. But I mean, that's what I got today in terms of, let me go ahead and unshare my screen so that people can see all of our lovely faces again.
Ryan,
yeah, go ahead.
We have a couple, just as you're wrapping up, we have a couple questions, just a couple quick questions from from attendees. I want to make sure we get their questions answered before we move on to our next panelist. One of the questions that came in is simply, is PingPong supported in Pakistan?
So it depends on receiving or paying. I know you can pay out in PKR. Receiving, you can obviously receive into 10 different currencies. But if you shoot me a note, or I'll give you my email address or how you can contact us, and it's a one-off basis, I can see where your business actual entity is located. If it's in Pakistan, our compliance team would go through all those due diligent resources, make your money secured and safe. But we can definitely check for that for sure.
Okay.
So I'm gonna, if it's okay with Ryan, I'm gonna send his email address directly to that participant so that they can talk. So
absolutely.
And awesome. I also popped the link to how to enter to win something free into the chat. Of course, my company uses Mimecast, so I made it a Mimecast link, but then I quickly corrected myself. But if you're attending today and you're not on the wheel, and I think that's the case because I didn't see as many people on the wheel as I see in the actual room, make sure you use that Menta link. It's menta.com 10DP13PEM5. It's in the chat. If you need it again, just ping me directly and I'll send it to you. But make sure you're entered to win, because like, why would you be at a thing with free stuff and not be entered to win the free stuff? So I'll go back to Andrew and Ryan, but I just wanted to encourage you to win free things.
No, that was perfect. For the sake of time, we're going to move on. The last question was just how PingPong compares to Alta. And I think that that's, that's something that we can discuss at another time.
How long do you have?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking as well. Our next guest is also, I believe, conferencing in from Israel. Liz, would you like to make the introduction?
I would be delighted to make that introduction. Yoni Kozminski is one of those people that when you meet him for the first time, you feel like you've known him for 100 years. That's just what he's like. We talked about that. He said that there are so many conversations he gets into where you meet somebody for the first time and you spend the first hour and a half talking about anything but e-commerce and business because you're learning so much about each other. I'm totally in love with his dog. He's just one of those guys that I'm a huge fan of. So he's going to talk today about planning your 2022 business strategy. I'm going to make it so you can just see his wonderful face, but Yoni, why don't you take it away?
Too kind, Liz. I feel very blessed and honored to be on this panel of amazing people. Lots of valuable insights from Nir to what Ryan's just shared and beyond. So hopefully I don't make a fool of myself here. And in that context of what you were saying, Liz, everyone here or a lot of people here are in fact e-commerce and Amazon sellers. But at the end of the day, we're all business owners, right? When we're selling on Amazon, there's a lot that needs to go into it. Andrew was talking a lot about 7 years into his agency, and as it grows, as businesses grow, things become a little bit more challenging, as we can all attest to, and scale is a challenge. So what I want to talk to you guys about, and I'm going to pull my screen up, is on strategic planning. So I'm going to talk you guys through, it's not new. It's been around for many, many years. I'm not going to give us the plug, or I'll do the quick plug because everyone's done it. MultiplyMii, we're an executive search and HR function into the Philippines. So we find high-level talent, not virtual assistants, not VAs, but specialists, designers, developers, content writers, marketing managers, email specialists, roles like that. And at Scala, we work with a lot of aggregators and larger e-commerce sellers, helping to systemize their business. So, everything that we look to do is help effectively scale other people's businesses. And, we grew from a team of 4 in 2020 to over 200 today. Plus 200 people in less than 2 years. And so one of the things that's happened and become very apparent to us is that once you get to that level and that scale, things don't really operate they once did. And so one of the new or the most updated sort of strategic planning that we've gone through is 4DX. I'll tell you about that in a second, but 70% of strategic strategies fail, and they come through execution through leadership. So it's actually really a lack of smart or having intelligent people in the business. It's actually just an inability to put that strategy to work and having everyone aligned with it. So for anyone who knows, I don't know, any of the panelists, are you guys familiar with 4 disciplines of execution, 4DX? Stephen Covey, maybe not Franklin Covey. Anyway, you're all going to learn here something new today, and that's going to be super valuable, I hope. So what is 4DX? So 4DX looks at 4 key disciplines. So the first is focus. They really break down things into its simplest form. So first, we need to understand where we're driving in the business. Once we have that focus, it's how can we leverage the assets, resources, personnel, and people that we have at play to really drive toward that underlying objective, and obviously engagement. So we need our entire team to align with that strategy. If we are leveraging the people, they have to be engaged and focused in driving all in the same direction. And the last is accountability. So if we're going to put a strategy in place, we really have to be accountable for what that looks like. And we just went through this process internally. It took us weeks to get to, and I'm going to share a little bit about each of these now. So the first one is focus. And that is when we talk about breaking down what is our objective or that milestone and making sure that we recognize the progress and we keep momentum. So when we come to focus, it's actually what they call, and I'll dive into it in a second, the wildly important goal, the WIG. So we need to make sure that what we're delivering on is effectively the most important thing for the business success. We have to create a hierarchy of ownership over the project. And if there's many people involved, that's okay. We need to make sure that everyone understands what their part is and who is truly owning it. It's an absolute myth that we can sit here and we can multitask and we can do absolutely everything. You know, when you're trying to run a business, and especially as you start to become a little bit more mature in that business, it's all about focus. So that's why you'll see a startup, you have, you know, many people or few people running around doing many things. And as businesses scale, you have many people doing few things. And so really at any level, you can really start to focus in on what that looks like. And then it's reducing the number of KPIs. So no one should have more than 5 KPIs. If you're building a laundry list of all of the things that you're trying to achieve, the reality is if you have 20 things that you're trying to achieve, you probably won't get through 5% of them. But if you can bring that down to a very small number and you create that focus, you can actually achieve a whole lot more. The next is leverage. So leverage is actually understanding and identifying what are the lead measures that exist inside of the business. So they talk a lot about lead and lag measures. So a lag measure, which is typically what most people look at, are measures like, you know, what was the business performance? You know, what was our BSR last month versus this month? You know, what was our PPC spend? Analyzing all of the aspects that we are coming in as outputs or as lag measures. You know, you'll download your PPC report, you'll get a clear understanding, you'll look at how the performance is. But the reality is that's not how you build true leverage, because you need to understand what are the inputs. And that's what we call lead measures. So we need to regularly review what those lead measures are. And just to go a little deeper here, a lead measure is something that you can achieve on a daily basis and you can actually drive towards. So that would be things like being very specific, like diving in and reviewing a PPC strategy. And Mina will talk a lot about this, I'm sure, when he's up. So you guys are in for a treat for him. But it's, you know, where can I do my keyword research? How can I effectively understand not just the performance, but what are all of the steps that I can do in order to manufacture or manipulate that change? How can I actually impact ranking? So it's what I can do as an input, not as look at the report, okay, we're failing here and trying to adjust. Building incentives based on those lead measures. So let's stick with PPC. If I was to build an incentive program around this, it would be about, you know, what are 3 new ideas that came through? Create 3 new ideas for the month of the team member responsible for PPC management. What new things can we bring to the table? You know, what is a new tactic or strategy that can be implemented? These are things that you can lead in with. These are things that you can impact that are, you know, you can have lots of competition come into the market and you can't really control that, right? The cost of PPC is going to go up. But if you're looking at every different way, and we were just on a podcast, on Ryan's podcast yesterday, and we were talking with Pinformative, and they were talking about driving external traffic. So looking at all of the different ways in which you can actually drive those lead measures. The next is about engagement. So once you have the wildly important goal, and once you have started to build these lead measures, then you can start to focus on that engagement. So setting out daily standing meetings and updates and really understanding, am I achieving the aspect inside of the function, the role, the opportunity that I need to achieve? So you can break that down depending on the size of your team. You can break that down in many different ways. If you're a smaller owner operator, you know, realistically, it's about you holding yourself accountable for ticking the boxes that you're delivering every day and making sure that you're continuing to push the business forward. But if you have a team that specialized in design and PPC and EBC and, you know, everything in between, logistics, supply chain, product development, then, you know, you have to build that wildly important goal around the objective of the business. And then you build in that's called the parent wig. And then you have the sub wigs, the wildly important goals around each of the departments. And again, I'm not going to get into too much detail here because I think I might lose people, and it depends really where you're at in your business. Obviously, or maybe not so obviously, but displaying that leaderboard internally. So it's all well and good for us to sit there and, keep this tucked away. But when we put it on show, it does a few things. One, it gives you accountability and visibility as to how do you look in terms of business performance, but it also allows other people to see what's up and can help them chip in where things maybe aren't performing the way. When you create that true visibility and transparency, not to sound too cliche, but that's where the magic is created, where you have that cross-pollination and you have people really understanding. And then crowdsourcing of ideas is another obvious one. Once you have that visibility, you can create those rewards and prizes for hitting measured goals. And again, you can't just look at we're all focused as human beings. We're all focused in driving forward and doing what it is that we see is important. And, a lot of us laser focused with our head down. But when you start bringing on team members, when it's not just you in the business, you got to remember that there's another human or a team of humans that are there that have their own objectives. And so in order to keep alignment, you have to make sure that the rewards reflect what the business objective is. And if you lose sight of that, then it very quickly comes undone. Accountability. So even if there's a shared idea that exists across multiple people, I think listing creation is a great example of that, where you need a copywriter and research, you need design, you need to make sure a product launch, for example, we place product launch managers specialized in that function. And the reason is having an owner who's accountable in delivering that is going to enable that accountability so that someone is there and making sure that it's done. Again, providing that full transparency. So when everyone can see what the progressive goal is, moving along and moving that needle along becomes a whole lot simpler. And then getting past the barriers of hard questions. So this all comes down when we talk about accountability, it's self-accountability, it's team accountability. So, what do you need to get this done is a great question, because it's not just about one individual contributor. While there might be one individual person who's accountable, it's about the collective team driving towards the wildly important goal. And so, again, when we look at wildly important goals and lead measures, I'm just going to sort of step you guys through what this process looks like as well. So, it needs to be owned by everyone in the organization, and it should inspire, it should be visual, it should be really simple, and it needs to be measurable and time bound. So, SMART goals is something that obviously is aligned with this, and that really translates into that increased accountability and the commitment towards everyone driving in the same direction. So, just to take a step back, or to reiterate here, so the parent wig is really simply defined, and I'm going to show you probably not the best example, but the one that I could find online that wasn't our wig internally that might have gone over people's head. But the wildly important goal, the wig, is where you as a business, or you as a small team, or wherever you're at, you as an individual, you define where you want to be. So an example might be that we have one SKU live, and by the end of 2021, we'd like to bring 5 products to market and create a brand with 90% satisfaction in our, of 4.7 stars. That would be a really strong parent wig, because every single thing would then need to drive toward that, and how you build each of your lead measures. So you'll build 3 lead measures that will be the input. So let's take that example of bringing brands together. So, a lead measure would be the creation of one product a quarter, or one and a bit products a quarter, in order to make sure that that is actually delivered and it's at a quality that we expect and it's gone through the rounds. That should be lead measure 2 and 3, but effectively the 2 other lead measures will be aligned with what drives that parent wig, right? We're looking at the inputs. We're looking at things like product research. We're looking at anything that is going to help us make sure that we hit that parent wig. And so once we get to that stage, I'm going to show you this terrible example that I pulled from the internet. So a group here, or a parent wig, is an example of it is piloting a group of students who will create a basic e-portfolio. So a home, about, a blog, content page with a success rate of 90% by the end of the first term. So just to break that down, you have very tangible, measurable aspects. So we'll pilot the group. This is what they'll deliver, and we have to do it at a 90% success rate. It doesn't need to be this long-winded, over-complex thing that's actually contrary to the objective here. So in order to achieve that, you have here that all students will be enrolled in a portfolio orientation class in their first term. So if they're enrolled, then that means they can actually learn and understand and drive toward that parent WIG and that objective as, you know, as a business here. The next one is that students will be given an hour per week in class to work on e-portfolios. So when we talk about that, we're understanding that now we have a time-bound input where they're going to contribute, which will gear toward delivering that home, about, blog, and contact page. And then lastly, we have open workshops that will deliver, will be available for one-on-one attention. So again, it's another support mechanism that really enables people to drive toward it. So once you get through and you build out those WIGs, we use something very simply put like this. So we have our WIG, our lead measures, and we will actually track. So is it on track? Is it delayed? Is it at risk? Where do we sit? You know, each individual contributor, what will they commit to this week? You know, what are the roadblocks? These are the regular cadences and weekly conversations that we have with our team to make sure we can effectively deliver on what that goal is. And what we call bloopers and burgers is really like when people make mistakes, when people fail, you shouldn't be embarrassed. It's not about keeping it to yourself. It's really about promoting or wearing your failures like a badge of honor. You tried something, it didn't work, but that's okay, because ultimately we're all in it together and we're trying to achieve and drive toward the same goal. Guys, that's really it. That is what I would say wraps up my component here. I really wanted to take sort of a step back and give you guys some insights as to, you know, looking at your Amazon store or e-commerce business as a business, and as you look to scale, what that effectively looks like.
Absolute gold, Yoni. I think that we could all use this in almost every area of our lives, not just our business. I think when it comes down to figuring out what your focus is, what your goal is, and then breaking that down into actionable steps and how do we get there. You know, absolute gold. I think we could chat on that for an hour. I know I just absolutely obsess about this kind of stuff in my own life. So I would love to introduce, actually, I'm going to pass it to Liz. We got giveaways first before our next panelist. Liz,
Okay.
take it away.
First of all, I know that we're running short on time. Andrew's going to introduce Anna Rose next, and then we're going to hear from Mina. I'm putting the link to Menti in the chat right now with no Mimecast crap on it whatsoever. If you are in this session and you are not signed up to be on the wheel, do it right now. And in the meantime, I'm going to tease out some of the prizes that we're giving away. Yardline's giving away a 20-minute session with the seller success team. Frank is giving away a video, you guys. Gatita, $1,000 in reimbursement. So Gatita finds the money that Amazon owes you for the first 1,000 of that. You just get it for free. Why not do that? AZ Seller Kit, the amazing tool that Jason and Lenny put together, $1,000 in subscription fees. Amazon Experts, a free storefront. Frank's free video is a $2,500 value. Amazon Experts is the free storefront is a $2,000 value. I don't think you can do much better than that in terms of a holiday giveaway. So if you're not signed up, sign up. Okay, now it's too late. Wheelmaster, let's put up the wheel and let's give away 2 prizes right now. Then we'll have Anna. Then we'll give away a prize. Then we'll have Mina. All right, spin the wheel, and we're giving away Yardline's 20-minute session in preparation of Anna's presentation. Patrick Remen, you are a winner. So we will make sure that Anna Rose has Patrick's email address so that she can send him the information for that. And without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Andrew to announce Anna.
Hi, Anna. We've been waiting to meet. Honestly, I've seen you around in the industry as far as Yardline, and just have yet to connect with you guys. So I'm super excited to hear what you have to offer today. But Anna Rose, coming from Yardline, topic is the top 5 analyses every entrepreneur should be doing in the new year. I think it's a super relevant time to be reflective, to be planning for the next year, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're an Amazon seller, whatever the case might be. what are those things you would like to share with the group today?
Yeah, so I can go ahead and start sharing those. So thank you for the awesome intro, and everyone's presentations so far have been super, super helpful. So I'm really excited to kind of walk away with all of this information. But today, as Andrew said, we're going to be covering the top actions that entrepreneurs should take to scale their businesses. For people who joined late, I'll just give a little rundown really quickly. So yeah, I work for Yardline. I'm a seller success manager at Yardline, and Yardline provides capital to e-commerce entrepreneurs completely unrestricted. So you can really use it any way that you see fit, but a lot of our clients are using it for inventory, advertising, things like that. But in addition to the capital, our clients are also put in touch with our seller success team. Everyone on our team are experienced sellers themselves, and we really work with our clients post-funding to help continue to grow their sales and help them figure out how to really get the highest ROI possible on their capital and just grow their business in general. So that is what we gave away, is just a little free session of mastermind of sorts. So I'm really excited to work with the winner on that. But yeah, just jumping right into it. So of the things that are really important to do in the new year, I'm going to overview them through 5 critical analyses. And so these are the analyses that we're doing with our clients and our own businesses. But essentially, when you're looking at how to scale your business and doing business planning in the new year, you really want to look at the business holistically. And that includes looking at all of these parts of your business. So inventory, staffing, advertising, expansion, and these are all things that will tie into these analyses here. So the first analysis is unit economics. So for those of you who aren't familiar, unit economics is just looking at your profitability and margin of an individual SKU or ASIN or product. And this is important because in my experience, most businesses are really looking at their top line P&L. But when you really get into the granular details, that's where there's a lot of opportunity that can present itself. And getting to know your business more on the granular level can uncover those opportunities that might have been missed by looking at the top line. For example, I worked with a client, we went through the exercise of doing the unit economics, and they found that one of their products had an 80% margin, and the majority of their product offering, the rest of their product offering had like a 50% margin. And that's information that was really helpful for them to inform on business strategy moving forward. So whether that's doubling down on advertising on the super high margin SKU, or potentially reducing costs for the underperforming products, or doing a combination of both. But either way, doing this exercise is a really great way to understand how to and what sort of steps that you should be taking to grow your business. And it just helps you get a little bit more direction in doing so. The second analysis is COGS and supply chain. So what you're looking for in analyzing this are just areas that you're spending a lot of time or money. And the reason that this is important is because there's almost always, in my experience, room for optimization in supply chain, whether that's through agreements with your suppliers or better terms, stronger 3PL partners, or through buying in bulk. Actually, one example of this that we see a lot with our clients is buying packaging in bulk is a great way to reduce cost and reduce time. So if you have the ability to do that, it's always a great option for optimizing your supply chain. And it's great because packaging usually doesn't have an expiration date. It's typically pretty small, so you're not worrying about the trade-off of hefty storage costs. And that's just one example of like something that we're looking at with our clients and how that can impact overall growth, but also supply chain costs and time. So jumping into the third one here, expansion. So with our clients, this is something that we're looking at pretty closely because we are giving our clients capital. They're able to allocate more resources, time, and money towards opportunities or marketplaces that they had been holding back on due to capital. But this can be applied to really anyone. And in the new year, you should definitely be looking at how you can expand, whether that's through new products, new marketplaces, new variations of existing products. That's really one of the fastest ways to revenue growth. If you already have one ASIN that is performing really well, and you're like, hey, maybe people would like this in blue or green or gray, being able to launch that and having the capital to do that and meet MOQs, et cetera, is a great way to just kind of start to build your catalog and build your brand. Having capital to do this is also great because you don't have to worry about having your existing business be affected by the need to support the new launches. So something that we're looking at with our clients, but something every entrepreneur should be thinking about, as it's one of the quickest ways to start to achieve growth. Fourth one here is advertising optimization. So once you look at your individual products, your business as a whole, and the marketplaces that you're in, next is to really look at advertising across those three levels. And again, this is important because advertising is one of the easiest ways to grow. You're getting in front of new customers, but only so long as it's efficient. So you want to make sure you're having a low ACoS or advertising cost of sale and high ROAS or return on ad spend. So checking in especially in the new year, but in general, all entrepreneurs should be really looking at each marketplace, each portfolio. If you're only on Amazon, just taking a look at all of the different portfolios and products you're advertising on, and checking in on those key metrics and pacing. And again, this is important because obviously advertising helps to build sales, and on Amazon, with more sales and more ad spend, you're starting to build up your product ranking, reviews, all of that, which will just help in the long run. So advertising optimization, making sure that you're having a strong ROAS, especially if you're really investing in the growth of your business. If you, let's say, have a 2 ROAS, and with a lot of our clients, they're investing capital into these efforts. So let's say they're using capital to fuel their advertising efforts and up their ad spend. If you have a 2 ROAS, great, you're going to double all of the investment that you put forth to that. But if you're fully optimized and have a 5 ROAS, you're going to really have 5 times that initial investment. So as you can see, obviously that's very important for looking at optimization and business growth, but that's something that we're kind of always digging in with our clients. And if optimization is not something that you really understand, there's tons of partners and great resources and tons of people on this call that can help you with PPC. So something that should always be top of mind and thinking about investing in that if it's not something that you feel really confident about yourself. The last analysis is partnerships and staffing. So this is important because a lot of back office processes like customer service, graphic design, they're all typically, a lot of the times I see that they are pretty inefficient and costly. And so there's, again, a lot of opportunity to just be more efficient there. So analyzing what current partnerships that you have, how efficient they are, and also if there's any gaps in your business where, hey, maybe you need a little bit more help in need a new partner or need new staff, that's just as important. One thing that I see a lot with our clients and myself, honestly, is getting bogged down in the day-to-day tasks and focusing too much on in doing the day-to-day tasks of the business rather than focusing on growing the business. So if you feel like you're in that spot where, hey, I'm constantly making shipments and optimizing PPC and doing keyword research, and you're not really focusing on growing the business, launching new products, planning, really all of those things, it might make sense for you to start to think about potentially outsourcing or bringing in staff or new partners. So that's the final analysis. Just wanted to give a little example here of what this actually looks like when we work with a client. So one of our clients here was Willow and Grace. They were primarily interested in new product launches to grow their brand. So we did these analyses and then gave them the specific guidance here. So a little bit on pricing, a little bit on their advertising, and also on negotiating those costs and supply chain. And the results that they saw were awesome. And it goes to show how focusing on your business and looking at these analyses, it does actually work in helping to inform growth. So those are kind of the big ones, and we have the prize to give away, which was already given away. So super excited for that. But yeah, happy to answer any questions about any of this, but just a brief overview here of things everyone should be thinking about.
I think this is fantastic information. We don't have any questions in the chat, but pretty straightforward information in regards to what are your the different areas of your business on Amazon? How do you evaluate them? Dig into, I've always told people that treat every product like it's your only product and get down into the details of profitability and from PPC to logistics to your packaging. You need to go through growth modes and lean modes. And I think the end of the year is a perfect time to go into a lean mode and just make sure that everything's cleaned up. Thank you so much, Anna. That was a pleasure. Liz, let's give away some more free stuff.
All right. So the wheel is ready. Anna, if you don't mind popping your email or the right email to contact your team into the chat to everyone. That way, if people have more questions after the fact, they're thinking, then they can contact you. Wheelman, let's spin the wheel. All right, we are giving away a free storefront, $2,000 value from Amazon experts, David Dayon. Danan Coleman, you are a winner. So let's make sure we get that email address over to David and we can give that away. Let's give away another one just because this is fun. This will be the Gatita, $1,000 of free reimbursements. Right. Mohammed Mustafa, you are a winner. Nobody could not use $1,000, right? So congratulations. We'll get your email address over to Yoni and the team at Gatita, and you can get all that money that's lying there on the table. Last but not least, in terms of our speaker panel, and Kim, you've been so encouraging through this whole thing. I'd also like to give a shout out to Abe Tamali because he showed up today and I just love that guy. So hi, Abe. Last but not least, we've got Mina Elias. Mina is an absolute powerhouse of energy and positivity. He is so fun to talk to. He's another one of those people that you meet and you're like, how have I not known this guy forever? Everybody loves him. He's a professional athlete and started his own MMA nutrition, which is his own supplement line. And he's also a PPC, I don't know if I want to say wizard, master. He's all about digging into the data and finding out what the problem is, how to solve the problem, and how to make the problem the opposite of what a problem is. So Mina, I'm going to make it so people can just see your face and your very nice background, and I want you to take it away.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm super excited. So also introduction. Wow. I need to like bring Liz with me whenever I speak anywhere and just say, hey, this is my hype man is going to introduce me right now. My hype woman. So thank you for that. Today I want to dive into building an analytics dashboard and being able to quickly diagnose what's going on with PPC. And, you know, Yoni, I love that Yoni touched on this because lead and lag, it's very, very important for people to understand. Lag measures is what's my ACOS, okay? This is your ACOS happens after things have happened. Lead is what are the levers that you can pull. So if you've watched any of my stuff, I talk about the levers we can pull. Bid optimization is a lever you can pull to add, you know, profitability, cut down on unnecessary spend. Launching profitable search terms. So in the search term report, you can identify unique search terms, launch new campaigns, hopefully get more traffic, more sessions to your listing. And if your conversion rate is good, you're going to convert. So that's another lever you can pull to increase traffic. Negative keywords, you know, cut down on spend. Another lever you can pull. You can pull any keywords that are not performing well in auto broaden phrase, negative them. And if they're irrelevant keywords, you can also negative them. Then you move on to campaign budget optimization, increasing the budgets where necessary, placement optimization, increasing placements. So you can go to the placement report and there's a placement by bid. So either top of search first page or product detail pages. Those are both places where you can, maybe bid more to show up there if you notice that your click-through rate and your conversion rate or ROAS is higher on those positions. Another lever you can pull, and then you have sponsored brand display and videos. Another lever you can pull where you can pull the lever of showing up in more places. So those are the leads, and then they they end up with a lag, which is your ACOS, your profits, all this stuff. It's very hard to visualize all of this in Campaign Manager. Campaign Manager does not show you everything you need. It shows you PPC spend, it shows you sales, it does not show you sessions, it does not show you conversion rate. What if you ran a lightning deal and your lightning deal was the reason that you did so well because your conversion rate spiked? What if you changed your image and all of a sudden your PPC is working really well because people are more likely to click on your listing? So I'm going to share here what the analytics dashboard that I've built so that it looks perfect for me looks like. And then I'm going to go through some like diagnoses of like certain cases. And then obviously, the sky's the limit with how much you can figure out. But this is generally what it looks like. I have the dates every 7 days, and I want to see week on week improvements, but I also want to see the day to day, just in case, like I said. So the other day, I was managing a client, and I said, hey, what happened on this day? And they're like, yeah, we had a podcast release with they did some sort of deal with a podcast. And because of that deal, we just got a lot of traffic. And I said, what happened? Like, did we change the price or something? And it was actually because of a podcast. So that's why I like to see the data by day. I have the spend, the sales of PPC, total sales, very important, because a lot of people, and I just proved this to one of my clients, they kept saying ACOS, and the PPC sales and the overall sales, like they were causing the organic. And I said, no, the PPC is causing organic sales. And, sure enough, we cut down the spend. They got to the ACOS that they wanted. Their overall sales and their overall profit went down. So anyways, we have here PPC spend, PPC sales, total sales, number of units, not that important. Sessions, very, very important. The entire basis of PPC is driving sessions to your listings. That's the main metric you should be seeing. And I want to see here, you see $45 to $193, 327% increase in PPC spend. I better see a 327% increase in sessions, because that's the reason that I spent more money, is to get more sessions. In this case, that wasn't the case. We'll keep going though. Conversion rate, very important. As the conversion rate changes, we realize how like the relationship between traffic and conversion works, because if our conversion rate is off, then we're sending traffic, it's not converting, it's costing us more money. And so it could be where the hole in the bucket is. It's not the PPC, it's not overspending, it's not too high ACOS, it's just that your conversion is not where it needs to be. Same with the click-through rate. Again, PPC, you're essentially showing up on people's pages when they search something. If they're not clicking on you, then you're not going to be able to get sessions into that listing, and then not being able to get conversions. So another very important metric that I like to follow, total ACOS. This is just to see how much percent of my revenue is going towards ads. And for me, it's mental, right? I know that my gross profit margin before ads is 50%. So if I'm spending 4%, it's a little bit too low. I'm spending 21%, okay. If I'm spending 38%, I only have 12% left as profit. That might be scary. Now, maybe at certain volumes, it'll make sense, but right now it's like, no. For me, I think 20% is my maximum for total ACOS before I start feeling some sort of strain. Then I have my price, my fees, my cost of goods, my profit calculated, which is the the sale price minus the Amazon fees minus the cost of goods times the number of units sold minus my PPC spend. And then I have the PPC spend per session. This is a very important metric to me, because it tells me how much did I pay for every single session. So if I got 100 people to my listing, I was paying $1 per person. If I got 150 people to my listing and I started paying $3 per person, that doesn't make any sense. Now I'm overspending to acquire these new customers. It's not going to work out in the long term. And then I have a blended cost per acquisition. And this is just, just a fun metric for me to follow, to see how much did it cost me to acquire. I know that my cost per acquisition, based on my lifetime value on Amazon. And I'm not going to get too deep into the lifetime value, but I know that on average, I'm going to make about $38 from one person on average, because, you know, some people are repeat buyers or whatever. So I'm willing to pay up to, let's say, $15 to acquire, you know, a customer. In this case, you know, we're staying pretty low, so we're happy. That's fine. And now it goes into, let's look at things week on week. So the goal here is to see PPC spend week on week has gone up. And by that same ratio that it's gone up, I want to see, you know, something similar in the overall sales as
Hey,
well as
Mina?
something. Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but this is such a good question that I know you're going to love so much that I need to, while we're looking at this data, someone wants to know what app you're using to pull the data.
It's called Excel and human beings in time. There's no
And you
app.
pull it directly out of Seller Central, right?
Yes. So PPC spend, PPC sales out of Seller Central, overall sales, units and sessions, and unit session percentage, all out of business reports, click-through rate out of campaign manager, total ACOS is a calculation, sale price, Amazon fees out of the inventory management portion, cost of goods sold, you know that, and then profit is a calculation, and these are also calculations. So there's no software. However, if you email me, I will send you a copy. So I have like a, let's see, where is it? Is it this? Yeah. I have something like this. Like I have an empty template of it. So I'll send you this big empty template, and you can kind of like start filling it out. Anyways, let's go back to Snagit. Okay, so here we are. So again, that's kind of the way that I want things to go is week on week, I'm increasing my PPC spend. And then week on week, I notice that the sessions are going up. I look at my unit session percentage. I want it to stay steady and not go down, possibly go up. I also, if my week on week, nothing happened to my PPC, I want to see that I'm always testing main image, you know, other images, bullet points, coupons, lightning deals, 7-day deals if I can ever get them, enhanced brand content, asking questions on my listing, adding a video to my listing, hitting up people like Gracie. Gracie is our friend, and she's an influencer on TikTok. She also does a lot of Amazon Live, and so she can leave a video on your listing. So hitting up people like her to leave videos on my listing, all of that stuff. And I'm trying to see what factor did I change that improved my click-through rate and conversion rate. This way I have a full picture of traffic and conversions, not just traffic from campaign manager, not just the sales from PPC that also, you know, affect overall sales. Then, you know, I want to see that my unit session percentage is consistently the same or improving. I want to see that my click-through rate is consistently the same or improving. Then I kind of skip right to profits, and I want to make sure that my profit, the dollar amount. So ACOS, total ACOS, all of this stuff does not really matter. This is what's going to go into my bank account, right? So this is really what I care about to see at the end of the day is going up. Now, if that's at 18% total ACOS, 5% total ACOS, you know, 10%, whatever, it doesn't matter. As long as that dollar amount is going up. Then I'm looking.
Mina,
Yeah.
just real quick. I think as someone that's been in this space a long time, I feel like the conversation I have with sellers the most is about pushing them to be patient when it comes to PPC. And you know, there's so many factors that you're alluding to, and you're mentioning, but there's really so many outside factors that, you know, at times you're testing within PPC and at times you're testing outside of PPC, like the images, the coupons, the things like that. And so too often people are not seeing the results they want within a week or a few days, and they want to adjust because they just haven't had the time to see those changes come about. You know, but all of this should be assumed that your listing already looks amazing. Then you're making these tweaks, and it really is just about tweaking your way all the way to optimization on Amazon, and the PPC is the biggest sign of that. But as we're looking at this, I can see, you know, I can see week over week there's a massive change, and I can see a seller being like, oh my God, we went from 4 to 21, we have to change it back, what's going on? We went from, you know, and they're paying attention to the wrong thing. So what I just want to echo is this is absolutely fantastic, but this is under the understanding that Mina would have, that these are only relevant to the changes happening there. So to the sellers that are, you know, thinking about using this type of template and really thinking about PPC strategy Just know that this is like a piece of the pie, like you said, the lean and the lag, that's helping you get to those results. We have some people jumping in the chat talking about just how amazing this is, and I think that it's super important to think of that long game again. Be patient around PPC. It's something that you have to be very, 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 very patient.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you mentioned the delay. And this is one thing that I also always notice is week on week, sometimes I'll see I went from, let's say, $500 in spend to $2,000 in spend, but the sales don't catch up. And then a week later, I noticed that the sales did catch up. So always be patient with what you're doing. Because like, especially with bigger changes, once you get to a point where week on week, there's only like a maybe 10 or 12% increase in your pricing and in your spend, then that's where you kind of should expect a little bit faster. But if you do a big change, and especially with the launches, sometimes I'll launch and it'll take me about 2 weeks spending $500 to $1,000 a day, and then the sales velocity catches up and I start noticing that. So definitely being patient. And one thing that I learned from aggregators is that they are leaving no stone unturned. So they're taking the listing and they're finding every like small little piece of it and trying to optimize it. And so that's why when I build this dashboard, I also have on the back of it, what's our change log? Every single week, are we testing a main image? Are we testing a coupon? Are we testing a lightning deal? What is going on that week that could contribute to a higher conversion rate and a high click-through rate? I also use things like PickFu, product opinions, stuff like that to get feedback from people and say, hey, I don't understand, what's the benefits of this powder? Like, it's not clear. So I'm like, okay, here's another image. Now, do you understand? Oh yeah, like now I understand. And constantly trying to improve what my product, looks like and how it converts. So the final thing I want to touch on here before we jump into like a few quick case studies is the PPC spend per session. I'm always keeping an eye out on that, because if I notice that I was spending $1 to acquire a session and now I'm spending $2, it could either mean that now I'm spending where organically I was already getting traffic, so I'm just cannibalizing that traffic, or I'm overspending on the ads. So maybe I had $1 bid and it was getting a certain number of sessions. I went to $1.50 thinking I was going to get more sessions, but I ended up just overpaying and getting the same results. So
Mina, question here. I think, is it possible that, if a brand's in lean mode, they might have a PPC spend per session of $1.31, and then they start going after maybe competitors or more aggressive terms, or less lean mode and more into a growth mode, and you see that PPC spend per session go quite a bit more, and it's not that you're overpaying, it's that you're trying to take market share or get aggressive?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, now that you like mention it, if you are going after market share, that's another place where you could be okay spending more. But obviously this is a market share play. Also, if you notice here, guys, it went from $1.30 to $9.78. And this is also because they weren't spending at all on PPC, and now they're spending, $230 a week. But you'll notice that the overall profits increased. And I'll notice this a lot too with people who have very like untapped PPC. It'll go from a very low spend per session to a much higher spend per session, but you will notice that you're getting a lot more traffic and a lot more conversion. So there are some cases there.
Mina, real quick, just because you're about to jump off of your awesome template that everybody's madly in love with and asking, can they have it? Will you give it as a prize? What can they do? Can they give you like, a vial of blood or their firstborn or something like that?
Bitcoin.
And saying that you're so awesome. There are a couple questions. There's a product column. So assuming this is on a product level basis, do you also account for sponsored brands in your template?
Yes. So this is a brand. So this is for like for me, I have multiple products, multiple brands and brands that I manage. So there's a brand column and a product column. So you can filter in Excel and say, show me this brand and then show me this specific product. So there's that. in terms of sponsored brand, that's a very good one. I did not include it here, but the full one has sponsored brand and video and display, and it also has DSP because I'm also running DSP, and all of it ties in. So like PPC Spend is kind of the summation of everything, but I do like to break it down. A lot of times you'll notice this, Andrew, probably you notice this, we'll run video ads and the ROAS on the video ads will look like a 6x, 7x ROAS. And then the overall, there was really not much change and not much lift in the revenue because the video kind of started taking credit for all of the sponsored products work. I noticed it a couple of times. And so, yeah, I do break them out. And then I always have like an overall view of, okay, we went from 0 video spend to $50 a day video spend. Are we making at least an additional, $150, $200 a day in overall sales? If we haven't, then I know that the video isn't working, or it's just not being used effectively. Like it's being used where we're already showing. Maybe I'll put it in placements where we're not on page 1, maybe we're on page 3 or 4 because it's too expensive to be on page 1. So let's try using video there and see what happens.
You can zoom all the way out to multiple brands that you manage all the way down to the SKU level.
Exactly. And I always look at it SKU. So every Monday morning, I get maybe 80 or something pages of these showing week on week for every single product. And I'll very quickly look at, what happened to the profit and very quickly diagnose. Did our spend go up and our sales didn't go up? Did our spend go up and our sales went up? The conversion rate change, whatever. And there should be the team needs to tell me this improvement was because of this factor that was changed. We launched more campaigns. This is why this week, our profit is a little bit lower. Next week, it's going to be higher once we optimize. So that's kind of the way I go about it.
Mina, I think a question I want to ask you just for clarification is, I think they're talking about the bigger template tracking everything at a higher level. I think whenever you're tracking down to the SKU level, the question becomes with a sponsored brand, maybe you're sending them to a storefront or 3 listings there or 4 listings there. Are you how do you track, I guess, on sponsored brand exactly to what listings those are going? How do you get accurate in regards to seeing on some of those ads that show multiple products, what's converting or what your talk list is there? I'm personally interested as well.
Yeah, so if it's multiple products that it's not a parent variation kind of relationship, it's very tough. And I have no solution for that. I understand that, this is something that just is difficult, really difficult or almost impossible to be accounted for, because if you're running an ad and sending it and then they convert on something else, it's going to get lost there. So, with those ones, I really try and not send a lot of stuff to my storefront. I always try and send to a store page that is dedicated to the product. But if it, in that case, if you have sponsored brand ads, you have multiple products in that, portfolio, and you're sending it to the storefront, it's going to be, I think, I don't know of a solution on how to track it. I know maybe, companies with API can, I'm not sure, but personally, with the reports that I see, there's no way for me to track it. So all of my sponsored brand display video, everything is always one product per campaign, one everything, one ad, one keyword, one everything per campaign, and try and be very granular, because those ones scare me so much because they take credit from other people. Like the sponsor brand, for some reason, and display and video, they take the credit for sponsored products. So if they show a really good ROAS, it's almost impossible to backtrack it if you don't have very segmented and clear, granular attribution to this sponsored brand ad sent to this product and it converted, and then what the overall lift was.
I would agree. I haven't figured that solution out either. Just for the sake of time, let's wrap up with one case study, and if we can, I know you said you had a couple and I derailed us a little bit, and then we can get to the rest of our prizes. But let's wrap up with one strong case study here that can be helpful.
Yeah. So this is just a simple case. We cut down on the spend here to optimize. We got more sales, and we looked at what was the reason that the sales increased. And it looked like the conversion rate went up by 35%. We had an 84% increase in profits. And so it was a result of cutting down the spend, because the week before, so the backstory, and this is why I love to have this, the backstory is a week before we launched a bunch of campaigns. So the spend here went up, and we still hadn't had like a good grip on which were the good keywords or not. So we then optimized and cut out all the stuff that doesn't work and doubled down on the stuff that did work. Sales went up, but also at the same time, conversion rate had gone up that week. And so we were able to get more profits and identify what caused the more profits. So this is kind of like a typical, thing that we see. And this is the benefit of using a dashboard like this. Obviously, I zoomed in here, so it's easier to see. And again, this one was an increase in PPC, increase in sessions due to a lightning deal. And so another reason why the product completely killed it, and there wasn't that big of an increase in the conversion rate and the click-through rate, or there wasn't the click-through rate, not in the conversion rate, is because there was a lightning deal. So now we can attribute what caused what, and we can double down. So it's like, oh, the lightning deal worked fantastic. I want you to schedule every single lightning deal possible, because look at the lift in profits, and the lightning deal costs $150. And we usually give the entire inventory as a lightning deal. So they say how much available. If we have 5,000 in stock, we say 5,000 available. And usually it never goes. I don't know if some people say that's not best practice to because if you have like only 300 and then it says like 78% of this lightning deal has been claimed, is a better perception. It's not something I've like split tested enough to know what works better, but usually I try and give away a lot, because I know in the lightning day deals we get like crazy amount of traffic, and you get that nice little red bar, and a lot of people are clicking.
Especially if it's a good product, not the worst product that you have. It's a good product, and you have good stock, good opportunity. And another variable that I've really noticed is the time of day that the deals go live. You don't have control over that, but it's really impactful on how well the deal goes. And so, like mentioning, you're tracking all of these things as much as you can. If you're one person, you're obviously not doing everything. But as you start building out your team and thinking about where you want your program to be, I think if we could track every little thing that ever made a change, we would be.
Yeah, 100%. And I know it's tough to build this in Excel or whatever, but you'll have such a better grip of what's going on in the business. And instead of just like, you hear me speak about PPC, you apply something, and then you hear Andrew and you apply something, and you have no idea what's going on. And did what I said help you? Did what Andrew said help you? Did what Liz said? You have no clue. Like there's no tracking. You can't attribute anything. But once you have something like this, you can say, okay, let's try Andrew's strategy. And then you notice, your sales improved this much by doing this thing. And so it's very easy to identify what caused it. Maybe his strategy was a bit optimization. So, okay, let's keep doing that thing. And then maybe you hear another strategy about, doing something with the auto campaigns, and you do it. And, you just keep adding more and more stuff that worked. And because you can attribute and you can see clearly exactly what lag measure this lead caused to happen. So that's
awesome.
That's it for me.
No, you killed it. Everyone wants all the versions of your templates. They're freaking out. You should probably be selling that. I heard one guy
you guys can screenshot and build this. What are you talking about?
Nobody wants to do that, Mina.
Yeah, it's all good. I did it. I'll give it to you guys for free.
Mina, thank you so much. That was awesome. All right, Wheelman, let's get the wheel ready. Let's give away 2 more prizes, and then we're going to kind of wrap up. I think Nir's going to wish us all some wishes. And if you guys want to hang out in the back room after, we'll be around to answer questions or tell jokes.
No, Liz, you're supposed to say that. The wishes, not me.
But you're better at it than I am. All right, we are giving away $1,000 in subscription fees to AZ Seller Kit.
Drum roll. Ah, so cute.
So we will make sure that your email address makes its way to Lenny and Jason. And for the final, let's give away 3. So we have 30 free minutes of coaching with Nir, and I don't think you should pass that up. So Colleen. Oh, no. It just. Damn, let me show you get connected with you.
I love the kids version of celebration. It's so great.
And finally, the thing you guys all ask for is a free video, free product video from Creative Percent, Frank Acosta. And congratulations, you have won a most coveted prize. So that wraps up the official Sellermania 3. That's the last one for 2021. It is going to be a brand new year.
No, you did that.
Go ahead, Nir. Give us your blessing,
New
man.
year, new decision, new you, whatever. This is the new year will be amazing. Let's make it amazing.
Absolutely. And on behalf of the Ecom Cooperative, on behalf of all of the companies that have participated in Sellermania 3, we do wish you a happy new year and all the prosperity and good things that come with 2022.
Bye, everyone.
everybody.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.